Alrighty then. So what we're going to talk about today, oh goodness, is those, I don't know if they're guys or girls, those people are putting their arms together, forming a circle, flying through the air. So, but what we're going to look into today is when their arms connect like that, they make an arc. Is that a minor arc or a major arc? A minor arc. And we're going to find out today how to find out how long that arc is. So if you can take an arc, so if your arms are like this, but then you straighten them, does that change the length of your arms? No. If you go from here to here? It doesn't change the length of them at all. But how do you measure the length of a curve? Can you do that with a ruler? Can you measure how long a curve is with a ruler?
Yeah.
How? That's not how long it is. Is that how long my arms are from fingertip to fingertip? No. And when I do this, it is. But when they're curved, not at all. So right now, we have no way to measure how long a curve is. Like, let me throw one up there. How long is that curve? How many centimeters? We have nothing to measure that with. You can't measure it with a protractor. You can't measure it with a ruler. We have no way to measure it. So today we're going to learn how far it is from point A to point B. Like if there was a little ant on my board and it walked along A all the way to B, we're asking ourselves, how far did it walk? So it's going to be a proportion. It's going to be a part. We're going to make this into a circle, and that's just going to be a part of our circumference. Very good. All right, so in order to do that, we're going to have to remind ourselves what circumference is. So write down the formula just as to remember. 2 pi r, or what's the other one? Pi d. 2 pi r or pi d. We're not talking area, we're talking circumference. Remember, circumference is how far you travel if you walked along the edge of a circle. Circumference, not area. Okay. So that might be a little bit rusty finding the circumference, so let's find it real quick. Go ahead and do 1 and 2 on your own. In terms of pi, always, unless otherwise stated, yes. Do 1 and 2, find the circumference. Oh my gosh. Julius, number 1, what's the circumference? What's the circumference of the circle?
Do we have pi?
We are not hitting pi. We never hit pi unless otherwise specified. 16 pi. Thank you, John.
No, Julius.
What are you plugging in again? I heard you. What?
2 pi r.
Except you don't press pi. So it's just 2 times r.
Yeah. Which r is half of the...
John, you were actually up next. What is the circumference of number 2?
12.
Yeah, 12 pi meters. The meters is not as important as the pi. You leave off pi, you get it wrong. No pi, no credit. All right. This is boring. This is too easy. Let's move on. Number 3. Let's go backwards. I give you the circumference. You give me the radius.
Wait, it's...
In the diameter. Is yours different?
No, I was looking
Shelby, the circumference is 12 pi. What's the diameter? 12. Nope, don't say pi. Don't say pi. Diameters and radiuses don't have pi.
half the diameter.
Kaylee is not here. Leah is not here. Catherine, what's the radius? 6. Yes, Paige, sorry. I'm ready now. Circumference, similar. You're either doubling the radius or you're just taking the diameter. Okay, now something that is really important to talk about. Okay, as a human being, you have a height and a weight, right? Those are 2 different things about you, but they're both things about you. You have a height and you have a weight. An arc has a length, like how long it is, like your height. It has a length. But it also has a measure. And when I say measure, I mean like a degree measure. So if this angle is 160 degrees, then that arc is 160 degrees. We learned that on Friday if you weren't here. that a central angle equals its arc. So I don't want you to get confused. When I say, how long is arc AB? I do not want you to say 160. Because if I'm asking how long it is, I'm asking for the length, 4 pi centimeters. So there's a length and there's a measure. You have a height and you have a weight. An arc has a length and it has a measure. So I don't want you to get those two mixed up. If I say, what's the degree of arc AB? You would say 160. If I said, how long is arc AB? You would say 4 pi. Two different pieces of information, one arc. Two pieces of information, one arc. Why would it be centimeters?
Why would it be 4 pi?
Because it's a length, it's a distance, and it's going to have pi in it because anything curved has pi in it. Anything straight, like a radius, doesn't have pi. Anything curved has pi. We could press pi and get a number. How long is it? It's 4 pi, so it's, when something. 12.566. That's how long it is. All right, you need to write down this proportion. That is called a proportion.
Then how does it work to see if it's 12.56?
What?
It says, you said the degree is 160.
Of that one that I showed you, it was 160. M is going to be where the 160 would go here. It's the measure, degree measure.
Then how do you find the...
It's actually already there. Do you see it? No. Let's just wrote that. It looks like it. There's a little box with two proportions. Now, I don't know why mathematicians did this to us. There are so many different letters in the alphabet, but they chose to use a lowercase, italicized L again. When did we use that before? What was that for? Slant height. And now they're using it again, and it has nothing to do with slant height. So now the cursive letter L is called arc length. So in this unit, when you see a lowercase cursive L, it means arc length. Throw slant height out the window for now. They'll never be in the same picture. They won't. I promise. So, arc length over circumference equals the measure of the angle over 360. This proportion, we'll always give it to you. It's actually not on your formula chart, but during quizzes and tests, we'll put it on the board. But I kind of want you to know how it works. So, what this is pretty much saying is the arc length, which is like part of the circle, the red, it's part of the circle. So the part over, what's the circumference? It's the whole. So it's like saying part is to whole as, I'll use that same measure we had in the other one. That could be 160. That's part of all the way around. And then how many degrees are in a whole circle? 360. So it's saying the part is to the total as the part is to the total. That's all this is saying. So it's not a hard proportion to work with.
How do you find the...
We will always give you the angle, and we'll sometimes give you the radius, sometimes give you the diameter. It just depends. All right, let's try it. Look at number 1. Every single time you're looking for arc length, every time I want you to write blank equals blank, because we're going to fill it in every time. And let's go one letter at a time. Cursive L, arc length. That's what we're looking for. That's missing. So I'm going to put a cursive L because we don't know it. Okay, under that is the letter C. C stands for circumference. So Austin, what's the circumference of this circle, number 1?
4.
Nope. Nope. 24 pi. Thank you. 24 pi is the circumference. You put 24 on a quiz, it's wrong. It's not even half right, it's wrong. Have to have pi. All right, what is the measure of the angle? Everybody. 30. They hand it to you. The angle is 30. 30, 30. Remember, they match. And that's the part, and what's all the way around? 360. Well, how do we solve that?
Cross multiply.
Cross multiply. Do you press pi? No, you ignore it, and you eat it for dessert. During dinner, you ignore your dessert. You're like, okay, I can't eat that yet. I need to eat my dinner first. Eat your dinner, and then you can eat the dessert at the very, very end. 24 times 30 divided by 360. Lewis M., tell me what you get. 2, and then put your dessert back on.
2 pi.
pi. How long is that arc? It is 2 pi meters long. Oh, where did I lose you? In the cross multiplying? Okay. So, 24 times 30, you divided it. Divided by 360. So you cross multiply and divide. So what you do is, you go across, you multiply these two numbers. Multiply these, and then divide by that. Multiply and divide. Okay. Number 2, Paige, what's the circumference of number 2? So, circumference is 2 pi r. What's the radius?
I mean, 9.
9.
It's always the outside.
No, it's always the segment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 9.
So what's the circumference?
18.
18 pi. Dimitri. Alright, you're going to help me set up my proportion, Dimitri. So, blank equals blank. We are looking for L. We don't know L. What goes here, Dimitri? Paige already found it for you.
18 pi.
Thank you, Ashley. And then what goes here, Dimitri? Dimitri. Yep. And then what about here?
360.
Oh my goodness, I can hear the whispering. I can hear it. I have good ears. All right, cross multiply. 18 times 120 divided by 360. 18 times 120 divided by 360. Dimitri. Final answer, everybody. 6 pi inches.
Stop.
Cross multiply. That's what we're doing today. Cross multiplying. As long as you put the stuff in the right spot. Uh-oh, look at number 3. Oh no. We're not looking for L. We're looking for something new this time. Oh, we're going to use our same proportion. Yep. Blank equals blank. Louis C., what is L for this one? They gave it to us. Three pi. 3 pi is L. Omar, what is the circumference? 12 pi. What is M? We don't know M. We don't know it. So I'm going to put M. And then 360 is constant. It never, ever, ever changes. Hey guys, what happens when you do pi divided by pi? Cancels. So you do not have to worry about the pi. It is gone. 3 times 360 divided by 12.
Because I 90. I ate the pi.
I don't know. Patrick, get back.
I get some watermelon juice.
3 times 360. Cross multiply. This times this. Divided by 12. How do we get 12? Where did 12 come from? Double your radius. Or find your
Why are
diameter.
you annoying and getting on my nerves?
Dimitri, go to your assigned seat. I've asked you that like 4 times now. All right, number 4. Ashley, set me up a proportion. Tell me which pieces we know. Perfect. Good, because we don't know it. Very good. Perfect. Thank you, ma'am. Oops. 36. Now be careful. When you cross multiply, you're not finding R yet. You're going to find C. So you need to convert C to R. Circumference to radius. Cross multiply. Megan, 2.5 times 360 divided by 150.
Again? That's all we do?
We cross multiply every problem. Every problem. And it's not all we do, because we're not done yet. Nasia, what'd you get for the circumference? Like when you cross multiply this, what'd you get? 6 pi. How do we go from circumference to radius? How do you undo circumference?
Divided by 2.
Divide by 2. Well, technically you divide by 2 pi. Let's divide this by 2 pi. The pi's cancel. 6 divided by 2. The radius of that circle is 3 centimeters. Okay.
Matt said this clock is slow, so you
I'm sorry. Hey, where? Let's do a real world problem. Now we've got an ant heading towards a strawberry. Really real world, yeah.
More like bread.
So it was, how long did, okay. So it was heading towards a strawberry along the edge of the circle. How far did the ant travel? Since this is a real world problem, we're going to press pi. We're actually going to press it. We normally don't, but we have to know how to press it and how to not press it. So go ahead and find how long his path was and press the pi button. So your answer should be blank inches is how far he traveled. Done? Done. When you're done, raise your hand and I'll give you your worksheet. No, press pi. Okay.
I did 2 ways.
Let's round to the nearest tenth. Raise your hand when you have it. Beautiful.
You're missing.
I'll be right there, Omar.
How did you get 12?
So, right here, that blank is the letter C. C stands for circumference, and circumference is 2 pi r. You double the radius. 2 times 6.
Okay.
12 pi. No. Try again.
Oh, wait,
Yep.
I want my worksheet, please. I guess I can have it because I don't know what to do. I want the dollars.
Inches. Yep.
Yeah.
Someone just said it, now everyone's just writing it.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Press pi. Because we're pressing pi. We want to see what the real world answer is. Inches. Yes. So just 12 times 120. Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Divided by, good, that's your answer. You can have it right there. 12.5. That's how far you traveled. Well, 12.6 if you round. Press pi. Yep, 12.6 if you round.
All of a sudden, I'm working all in here.
I know, yeah, sorry.